Hi third graders, I just wanted to make you a quick video because unfortunately I believe I am going to be out the rest of this week. It's unfortunate because I won't get to see you and I'm going to miss you, especially since I won't get to see you before spring break. But we talk about being responsible, and this is something Ms. Wisnor has to do to be a responsible citizen. So I will be back and I will see you after spring break, maybe sooner. But I just wanted to make a quick video to explain some of the things you learned today, just kind of give you a quick review, and then talk about some of the things you're going to need to know for tomorrow. So, today your lesson was all about showing equal parts. And we talked about this already when we did our small groups. And we got out our fraction tiles, and we said when I have one whole can be broken up into smaller parts. If I said I want to break one whole up into two parts, then that means the denominator is going to be 2. When I have one of those two parts, I have 1/2. So right now in your mind think, how many parts am I going to need to make one whole when I've split one whole into two parts? How many more parts do I need to make one whole? So our denominator tells us we broke it into two parts. So in order to make one whole, I need both of those two parts in order to make one whole. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals a whole. Okay. But that looks differently when we split it up into, say, 1/3. So if I break it up into 1/3, then I only have 1/3 of the whole. So how many 1/3 tiles would I need to make a whole? Look at that denominator, remember the number down below, and I'm going to need 3 of the 1/3 tiles to show one whole, because that denominator is telling me I broke the shape, the whole, into 3 equal parts. So I need all 3 of those equal parts to make one whole. So we already had reviewed that concept, but tomorrow you're going to be doing something a little bit differently. So we know we've been able to take a shape and we've been able to partition it or break it up into equal parts. If Ms. Wisnor said take that rectangle and split it into 2 equal parts, you would do this. To show me that we can split it into 2 equal parts, and this half would be 1/2, and then the other half would be 1/2. And when I have 2 halves, I have 1 whole. It's the same thing when we use a number line. So you're going to be using an open number line tomorrow with the sub when you're working in lesson 12.4. We've used open number lines when we've been adding and subtracting. So we know we can just draw our number line, and then it's up to us what numbers we need to put on the number line to show the fraction that we need. We're going to start with 0, and we're going to go up to 1. So this number line now is showing me 1 whole. It'd be like if I was showing 1 whole shape, but I'm showing 1 whole on the number line. So if I said take that number line and split it into 2 equal parts, you would do just like you did with the shape. You would put a line right in the middle, just like you would with the shape. To show that I'm halfway to 1 whole. So here's 1/2 of the number line, and here's the other half. Denominator is telling me I've taken my number line and I've split it into 1, 2 equal parts. So what would you do if Ms. Wisnor said, I want you to take that number line and I want you to split it into 4 equal parts? If that was the case, then you would do just like you would when you partition a shape. So if if you were splitting a shape into 4 equal parts, Miss Wisnor's aren't exactly equal, but we know we would try to do our best to make it 4 equal parts. Then that part would be a fourth. Those unit fractions tell us each part is 1/4 of the whole shape. So this would be a fourth of the shape. This is another fourth, and another fourth. It's the same thing when you're doing it on the number line. So on the number line, I take it and I break it into 4 equal parts. Here's 1/4. I'll write it so that you can read it that way. I've got to write my numbers backwards for you. Okay, so when I make that first jump, I've jumped 1 of the fourths. Now we know when we're looking at unit fractions, 1/4 is representing 1 part of the whole shape. When we're looking at it on a number line, we're going to think about how many jumps we've made, because it's not necessarily a unit fraction where we're talking about we've broken it up into 4 equal parts and each part represents 1/4. We're still thinking about it like 1/4, but when we're writing it on our number line, we're thinking about I'm going from 1/4 and now I've jumped twice, so I've jumped 2/4. And think in your mind, if I've gone 2/4, what's that the same as? How else could I say I've gone 2/4? We notice that going 2/4 is the same as going 1/2 of the number line. So see, I've gone 1/2 and the other half. Right here, 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Then once I jump again, there we go. Then once I jump again, now I've jumped 3 times. So now I've made 3 1/4 jumps and I'm at 3/4. How could I write a fraction that equals 1 whole that has a denominator of 4? We know this is equal to 1, but how could I write that as a fraction with a denominator of 4? So remember, we've talked about when I have all 4 of the 4 parts, I have 1 whole. 4/4 is the same as 1 whole because I have all 4 of the 4 parts that I broke the shape or the number line down into. Tomorrow, when you are with the sub, it's going to be set up the same as it was today. So you're going to do your solve and share independently. I will share the video, the solve and share video or the visual learning video through Google Classroom or through PowerSchool, through the Envision website. And 1 student will be assigned to go on and display it to everyone. But if it doesn't work, it's okay because I assigned it to you through PowerSchool. So you go through the PowerSchool website, go to Envisions like you normally would to do your online math homework, and then you can watch the video at home on your own time if it didn't work in school. That way, if it was tricky, when you go home to do your homework, you can watch the visual learning video, and that should help you out. After solve and share, we'll do visual learning if it works with having 1 student projected on the board, and then you'll break up into your centers like you always do. So 3rd graders, I got a great report today, and I'm expecting another great report tomorrow. Remember when you're in your small groups that you need to be responsible, respectful, safe, and studious. When you are at the table with the sub, you are going to be working on the independent practice. When you go to your tables to do fact fluency, you're going to continue to work on times 12s. When you go to technology table, you're going to be working on iExcel. Finish that up. If it's already done, do accelerated math. I will go in, and anybody that's done accelerated math today, I will assign you new assignments for tomorrow. And then your last table is your task cards. So we're kind of taking a little break from our fraction math journal, and we're going to be working more closely with the task cards. So I will print and laminate more of those for you for tomorrow, but just a heads up, that's what to expect. I really appreciate your guys' cooperation and understanding through all of this. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help. I'll do everything that I can. I know that this is kind of tricky with Miss Wisnor being out for a whole week, but I really appreciate you guys being flexible and being courteous to our sub. So again, parents, same with you. If you have any questions, message me on Dojo, and I should be able to respond anytime after 4 o'clock. And I appreciate your continued support. All right, thanks everyone. Have a great night, and if I don't talk to you again, have a great spring break. I miss you all, and I will see you after break. Bye, guys.